Okay, so my name's Grace, and this is my story in seven, or a little snippet of my story in seven. And I grew up in church all my life. I was raised in church, all of the things. My dad has worked in ministry for years. My mom just gracefully takes care of all of her children. Anyways, so therefore, I was baptized whenever I was 8, and I came to know the Lord, just like being in church and all the things. And in that time, I guess I knew Christ, but I didn't really have a relationship with Christ. And so therefore, as time went on, I gained more knowledge and more confidence in the Lord, but with a lot of trials. And so, whenever I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. I started not eating. I started starving myself. I didn't really see the point in it at all. I was convinced that if I wasn't here anymore, that no one would really care and no one would see that and all of the things. Then, as time went on, I started getting very sick. I started having to go to the doctor a lot. I was in counseling and intense therapy for nutrition and for food and all of those things, which caused a lot of trauma with food and all the things. And so then, whenever I was 15 years old, my mom was dealing with some things. She had lost her sister, and then 6 months later, she lost her brother-in-law. And so that caused a lot of like mental issues, and a lot of addiction started happening and all the things. So she decided, for the benefit of not only herself and for her children, but for her relationship with the Lord, that she needed to go and be away and take care of that. So my mom went to a mental health facility in Georgia and was supposed to be gone for the time span of a year, but was only gone for 3 months, thankfully. And just to heal her inner childhood and all the things. But then in return, that also caused a lot of trauma in myself. I had the thoughts of, oh, like, problems are too big and my mom's just gonna leave. Or if something happens like this again, my mom's just gonna leave me. I also have a biological brother. He's 17 now. His name's Jackson. That's my best friend. He also dealt with a lot of the mom's just gonna leave us grace. And so trying to deal with that, and then while she's gone, trying to be, you know, I'm not gonna be mom, but I have to be mom, and to help around the house is just a lot. And I'm also dealing with things in myself and all this stuff. It also gave me a sense of my mom just doesn't care. And so, which I now know she went because she does. And so that caused a lot of issues and a lot of doubts in the Lord. And so I just thought to myself, like, I don't, God, like, you're just, like, you're not real. Like, you're not here with me. Like, you don't see me. You don't understand me. But little did I know that the Lord was just there. It was just a test to see if I was going to be faithful to Him. As time went on, whenever I was 16, I went to Passion Camp in Daytona for Passion City Church, which was amazing. And Sean Curran came out with his new song called All Praise. And in that, he says, why should my heart grow weary? Don't be so downcast, oh my soul. And in that moment, I was just like, really trying to like take in the words of what he was saying. And then he also says all praise. And so that made me think, like, Lord, even though I'm suffering in thinking that my mom's abandoning me, and even though I'm suffering in not eating, and I am being very, very harsh to your creation, like, how can I still give all of the praise and all of the glory to you? And in that moment, I just like literally lifted my hands up in the air, and I was like, Lord, here I am. Just take all of me. I'm done with this. And literally the next day, I just felt this like sense of everything's okay. Like, Grace, you don't have to starve yourself anymore. You are beautiful. You are worthy, and all of the things. Fast forward to 16. We started opening up our home to foster care. That's a lot. That's a whole different side of trauma and abandonment and all of the things with children. Love children. And just thinking, like, as the biological kid, you tend to think at times, like, was I just not enough for my parents? Was I not enough for just fulfilling their wants and their desires in their life. But it's not about me. I now am here in a few weeks. We'll have another little brother, and that'll be the third and final adoption within this time span of 15 months, which is amazing and God sent. But also a lot of struggles and a lot of hardships, just to see what kids go through, and me thinking, oh, like my life was just awful. My parents are horrible whenever they got on my nerves, but then just to see like these beautiful, like literal angels and like masterpieces that the Lord has created, just to see all the things that they've ever went through, it's like God, you are still so good. In the Bible, in Genesis, it starts out by, it's like God gives Abraham so many like trials and everything just to see if he will be faithful to him. I was reading in chapter 22 of the sacrifice that Abraham had to give up his son. And, earlier God literally was like, Abraham, like, if you will be faithful to me, I will give you a son. And God gave him a son, even though his wife couldn't give him a son. But God still gave him a son. But then he's telling him to give him up. Why? And it goes on and on and on. And God literally says, go take your son, and I want you to kill him. And Abraham literally just got up and he went. He didn't ask any questions. He didn't ask why, what, or how. He literally got up and he went, and he was going to slaughter his son. But then God said, no, you are faithful to me. Now I see that you fear me. And so I was just reading in that, and it was just like, to know that like faith is the assurance of things hoped for, but the conviction of things not seen. God all throughout my life has been like, I'm going to assure you that I'm going to take care of this, but how faithful are you going to be to me? And I feel like there's testing in the Bible, and there's two things and two reasons why, is to reveal and to refine. God's been trying to reveal to me always that if I am going to say that I trust him and say that I believe in him, then how am I going to actually pursue that and relay that to my life and to express to other people? And then also to refine my heart and to show that he is going to bear fruit through my life and through what I've been through. If that makes sense. To refine what I've ever been through, and to show that God can still produce fruit even when things get hard. And so now, I'm working in ministry, I'm doing ministry, I'm going to school for ministry and all of the things. And just to see that all of the seeds that have been planted, even though I think I'm not worthy, even though I think that I'm ugly, even though that I think all of these things, like God still is refining everything in my life for his own glory. The end.